Welcome back to AI Weekly News by Cyber Intel Systems. I'm glad you're with us. I'm your host, Lisa Parsons. Today's story is about AI Consult trial test, a second pair of eyes in Kenyan primary care. Researchers tested AI Consult across 16 primary care clinics operated by Penda Health in Kenya. About half of the participating clinical officers used electronic notes with the AI check, while the comparison group took notes on the same kind of computer without the AI reviewer. This design moved the evaluation beyond a simulated medical question set and into routine clinical work. The interface uses a traffic light pattern. Green indicates that the system found no issue. Yellow invites the clinician to review a smaller concern, and red marks a potentially critical problem that may require prompt action. The clinician remains responsible for deciding whether the alert is relevant and what to do next. PR. Describe one case in which a yellow alert prompted clinical officer Vian Muri to investigate an infant's elevated heart rate. She heard a heart murmur, referred the child, and a specialist confirmed a congenital heart defect. It is a useful illustration of the Schwachem, but one successful case cannot establish the system's overall effect. An independent panel of 6 Kenyan family physicians graded the clinical notes. According to Empure's account of the study, the panel judged that the AI support group produced better diagnoses and treatment plans. Most recommendations were rated safe and appropriate, and the reported operating cost was 4 cents per Pascal T encounter. Patient outcomes were a different story. The trial observed a 23% reduction in treatment failures, including death or unresolved symptoms. But the difference was not statistically significant because those failures were uncommon in primary care. The study could not rule out chance as an explanation. Co-author Bilal Matina Parth said a trial would need about 139,000 people to detect a meaningful difference in those outcomes. That estimate shows why medical AI evidence can be difficult and expensive to build. A. System may change thousands of decisions before a study has enough severe outcomes to measure whether the change helped patients. The study matters because many medical AI claims rely on retrospective records, artificial cases, or benchmark questions. Randomized comparison in working clinics provides a stronger test of how clinicians respond to alerts under real-time pressure. It also exposes practical questions that a model labeled cannot answer, including alert usefulness, weak oak fit, cost, and oversight. Let's pause here for a short break. We'll be right back after this bumper. Welcome back. If you find this useful, follow and subscribe to AI Weekly News. Now, let's continue the news. The setting is important. Nudri told Impure that clinicians may see 5 or 6 patients an hour and often work without immediate specialist support. A low-cost second review could be valuable in that environment, but results from one clinic network and health system should not be assumed to transfer automatically to different languages, diseases, or standards of care. Scaling would also change the risk profile. Even a low error rate can create many poor recommendations when a tool reaches millions of encounters. Health systems, therefore, need monitoring for missed concerns, unnecessary alerts, subgroup differences, changes in model behavior, and whether clinicians begin to trust the system more than the evidence supports. The trial suggests that note-based assistance may be a practical role for a large language model. The system reviews information already entered by a clinician and offers a prompt rather than independently examining the patient. That narrower role preserves the human decision point, although it still depends on the accuracy and completeness of the note. Alert. Fatigue is another key measure. Neddery said she found the recommendations helpful about half the time, while describing the less helpful ones as seldom wrong. Belinka's suggestion can be technically safe and still consume attention. So future evaluations should report how often alerts change, care how often clinicians dismiss them, and whether repeated low-value prompts reduce responsiveness. The research also carries funding context. PATH sponsored the trial, and the Gates Foundation funded it. And Tor disclosed that the foundation also supports its global health team, while stating that Annapurna trained editorial responsibility. Transparent funding does not invalidate the findings, but it helps listeners understand the institutions involved in development, evaluation, and coverage. AI Consult offers credible evidence that an AI reviewer can improve documented clinical reasoning. The same study also demonstrates why that finding must not be inflated into a claim of proven patient benefit. Better notes and expert ratings are intermediate outcomes, not the final health result. The next evidence to watch is a larger trial powered for patient outcomes, followed by replication in other health systems and ongoing safety monitoring. Until then. The responsible description is precise. The tool helped clinicians produce better reviewed plans, while whether it made patients healthier or remains unanswered. Thank you for listening to AI Weekly News by Cyber Intel Systems. Subscribe and join us next week for the latest AI stories.